You've engaged the community in quite a bit of sort of visioning and perspective on where they want to take the community. You're also working on some Spotlight programs with individual areas. Tell me about some of those.
Yeah, the Spotlight grant is really taken off. We applied for a Spotlight grant through the Legacy, and there were several communities that applied. Hobart, our west side, was one of the recipients, and the other one was the Miller section of Gary. And basically what this is to accomplish is to allow people that live in this targeted area, which is kind of the west side of our community, to allow the residents, the business owners, and those that have an invested commitment into that area, what they feel they can do, and the city and all the stakeholders, to make it a better place to live and work. They identify what they call threats, strengths, and those are all things that we take, and you know, one of the things we've had to make very clear to people is that the city is not controlling the grant, the Spotlight program. We are a stakeholder just like they are as a resident. And together, we try to get obtainable results, taking steps together. The west side has a lot of historical importance, a lot of older homes, people that have lived there for 30, 40 years. But then there's also been some areas of the city within that targeted area where there's rental homes. There's homes that are, in some cases, are vacant. And so we need to make some really educated undertakings of that area of how we can improve it and kind of re-energize that area of our community, because there's a lot of historical importance.
But it's not one where you're saying, here's our vision for that area of the city.
Correct.
We're going to ram it down your throat. By the way, why don't you sign off?
And I've made it very clear that is not the intended purpose. We need to tackle this together. You know, one of the areas that's within that Spotlight area is our athletic complex. We have men's softball, women's softball, Little League, Pop Warner, youth soccer, and it's all in a concentrated area, but it's all kind of independent of one another. And one of the goals I have through this project, and it seems to bear it out with the thoughts of the people, is that we need to make that somewhat of a synergy of activities. From an athletic standpoint, have tournaments, draw people in. And there's a firehouse there that we want to make that into like a public safety building where both police and fire can be found, where people can go there to have a meeting, can go there to get assistance. So, you know, that type of activities, you know, that's being kind of born out of this Spotlight grant really is going to be beneficial to those who live there, to businesses that want to see maybe an economic boost by bringing people in, tournaments, bringing people in that otherwise would not come into our community.
But you get them involved and engaged early on, so they're part of it.
Yes, yes. And they take ownership. I'm a big proponent, you know, as a police chief. One of the things that when, you know, you went to schools, one of the things they stress is getting people to take ownership, to be a part, to feel like they are a part of the solution, a part of the means to that solution. And I really feel that's important, that people, residents, feel like they are providing input to elected officials to make good, educated decisions that represent their wishes.